There, look at the donkey. She's got it. Set the hook. Woo!
Coming up next, in third place after day one, local angler Sieg Taylor with 31.12 pounds. Looks like Sieg and his AAA Ken Allerton are coming up with multiple bags again, so it looks like we're going to have a good weight. Sieg, does it look like we've got anything over 7 pounds there? Yes, it does. That's not it either.
That's not it. Okay, let's see it. Is it?
I don't know.
Right here.
Oh, no. Oh, that's it.
All right, Sieg got the big fish. It's a heck of a sack that you've got out there, Sieg. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how your day went, what you got that big fish on, etc.
Well, I caught that fish on a bait smith swim bait. I caught the other big fish on a Senko. And that's kind of what we were doing, just running around, just looking for things that look good.
You gotta weigh that other big one too.
9.04 pounds was the first big fish. Since we pay 2 places, we're going to have him weigh the second big fish.
Oh, both your fish. Yes.
Never mind, those are both Sieg's fish, so we're just going to go ahead and get them weighed in with the sack. Sieg, you obviously did well yesterday, doing well today. Do you hit the same areas or try something different?
No, I hit the same areas again. Actually hit some new areas that I couldn't get to yesterday. And it just seemed like, you know, we'd work an hour here, hour there, and get a bite.
So swim bait's over the bait of choice for the day?
Yeah, that and Senkos.
Outstanding. All right, well, this is going to be a really good bag. Let's go ahead and get this thing settled in, weighed up.
Not yet. He'll do it once we're done. Okay.
Little 31.84.
31.84 pounds. That is our day 2 leader as well as our unofficial big fish leader.
No. I want him to hold up. This way, Zig. This way over here. This way here. Okay, hold him up high, Zig. There you go. Oops, I'm sorry.
Autograph. I don't want to make that decision.
Daddy! Yeah, the weight's still coming.
All right, welcome. That was a great sack of fish that I got on day 2. And what I'd like to do right now is I'm going to go really into depth on how to catch big fish and give a little bit of a history of why Clearlake is voted by Bassmaster July 2020 the best bass fishing lake of the decade. I'm also going to talk about WON Bass, one of the finest West Coast organizations. And if you ever get the chance to fish a WON Bass tournament, you'll know what I'm talking about. They are famous for the U.S. Open, which is held every year on Lake Mead. But I want to focus on how I caught those fish, why I caught those fish, and so you can duplicate that on your body of water, wherever that may be. And I look forward to hearing if you have any questions. Feel free to ask me, send me a private message, but I'm here to help you catch more and bigger fish, period. You can apply this to other species. All right, so we got a June tournament coming up. I am pre-fishing, and I can say this, that every tournament that I have won has been me just going out and going fishing, just going and having a good time. I remember blasting off that morning. I was about middle of the pack, and I just didn't know where to start. I said, you know what? I'm just going to go have fun. My amateur backseater, great kid. Like I say, I didn't really know what to do, and I just said, hey, we're just going to go out and have some fun today. The first place I went to a wall, and again, we're fishing June. June is usually, the spawn is pretty much over, and we're fishing for post-spawn fish. Are there still fish going to be up doing their thing? Yes, they are, but I'm kind of looking for post-spawn fish, and I went to a seawall, and it was about 15 to 20 foot. I put on a wacky 5-inch peanut butter jelly Senko and just threw it up against that wall as tight as I could. The key is tight. If it was out a foot, 2 foot out, the fish wouldn't bite. But I learned that if I could get that right up against that seawall and go straight down, so I was using a spinning rod, and I just fed it line so it'd go straight down. And one thing I like about throwing wacky, is it gets that pulsating action. So right off the bat, caught a 5-pounder. And I said, whoa, this might not be a bad weekend after all. So I looked over at another area, and it was far enough away to where I could notice there was nobody there. At least I didn't think so. And I said, oh my gosh, I can't believe, I'm like I say, middle of the pack blasting off. I can't believe nobody was in this area. But again, nobody was thinking like I do. And this area this is a bridge, seawall, and then had some stuff, and then it went out into the lake here, and then this kind of came around and went out into the lake. So the open lake is here. Open lake. After these big fish have a chance to spawn, they're hungry, and they just want to they don't want to work hard. They already just got done working hard by spawning. And so what I look for is I look for these funnels. I call them funnels. And I'm always looking for the point. The point here and a point here to the funnel. And by the way, this went back into a marina area. So guess what happens? They're coming right out here, and I want to pick them off. Usually, like I say, they'll come out here and they'll go to the points, but I'm not saying I didn't catch them all in here. So I have a 5-pounder, got my first fish. I noticed nobody is even in this area. I don't know what they're thinking, but again, post-spawn fish, they're starting to move out, and I throw this Hog Hunter swimbait.com, and it is a lightning ghost. That's the color of it. And this is a bait. I just loved it when it came out. It happens to be 6 inches. The new one now is about 7 inches. And I just got it in the mail here, so I'm really excited to do an unpacking party of the new improved version of it. So what I did is I just started fan casting it here, 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 here. And the first cast was a 7-pounder. The second cast was a 6-pounder. And the third cast was now another 7-pounder. So I got 2 7s and a 6 in 3 casts. That's how stacked up they were here. I had a 5-pounder. because this was a 2-day tournament, 10 fish, 2-day, 10 fish, I felt like the day was going to go pretty good. And so I only caught those 3 fish there, had that 5-pounder, and I told my partner, let's go. And that's what we did. We left this area hoping that nobody else would find this because I started to fish the second day. Going around to other spots, I said, man, if I can just duplicate this, okay, if the fish are doing it on this part of the lake right there, what about other parts of the lake? And I did find another spot. And this was a creek. I'm going to try to draw the creek here, contour of it. And I right away started kind of fishing this side. This was the deep side. This was the side where they always move in and out. This was the shallow side. So I really didn't cast over here. But I focused on this and happened to pick up another pretty good fish on that. I don't really recall what it was, 5-pounders plus. But this creek, again, the deep channel is on this side, and they had a bunch of laydowns, willow trees that had been blown over, and they're just laying out there. So you could have a willow tree here, and you could be in 8 foot of water. Over here, it's 2 foot of water. So what I did is I took this Senko. This is a 7-inch Senko, big fish Senko, okay? I used the G-Mag oversized worm hook. And by the way, do you see that tail of that Senko, how it's kind of flaring out there? There is a proper way to rig any Senko. They're all like that. They all have a flare off to one side. I'm giving some of my super secrets away. If you notice down there, you click on that link, that'll take you, and I'm going to send you all my super duper secrets that if my competitors knew that, they'd be like all over this. So put your name and email in there, and I'll send you all my secrets on especially how to hook up these Senkos and other secrets that will help you catch more and bigger fish. So this pretty much, the first day, I had over 30 pounds the first day, but I wasn't in first place. It's a big lake. Again, Bassmaster didn't call it their #1 lake for the decade for nothing. So day 1 is in the books. Day 2, my plan is to go right back to where I started. Oh, didn't start, but my second spot on that. This is again open the lake here. My plan was to open water. My plan on day 2 was just to spend as much time in here and catch every fish. Remember, the day before, day 1, I only caught 3 fish out of there, but I know there were some good ones in there, nice ones. So day 2 starts, but before that, that evening was really interesting. If you notice, you can place a stinger hook on the bottom of these baits. That evening, I noticed something change. I was in my boat garage. I was getting ready for the next day. I was feeling pretty confident that I was going to whack them again, but there was a breeze, and it was a again, we're talking June here, so it's summertime's full on, but it was a nice sweet breeze. It was kind of almost a cooling breeze. I looked up outside and I saw a very slight, small front coming through, weather front. And I said to myself, wow, I wonder if I better just take a chance, because the fish I caught on this, day 1, they crushed it. Day 2, I would take and put a stinger hook on here, and the stinger hook I used for this one, you choose your size, but for me it was a treble EWG number 2. Hope you can see that right there. And that's exactly how I fished it. And what I do when I throw these, and again, we're talking water depth of 3 to 4 foot, okay? 3 to 4 foot water depth. I'm out here and I'm just casting in this area. Again, here's the funnel. I'm looking for the points here, and I'm casting in this area. These fish are coming out from this area after spawning. It's post-spawn, and they're crunching it. But I caught so many fish. We had 5-pound average, but I know I needed a big fish. I said, man, if I could just get one bite get one 9-pounder bite. And fish after fish after fish I was catching, and then I caught her. And I did catch the 9-pounder. If you look at the publication next, right there, that was her. She was a 9-pounder, and she was hooked on this stinger hook. By the way, matter of fact, that intuition I had the night before, I caught probably 70% of all my fish that second day on the stinger hook. I caught her just on that one hook. It was amazing. I had a great amateur that day. I had a great amateur both days with me, and they were good with the net. They were great with the net. And I got her. So I said, 9-pounder. What if? I said, this might be a chance to win, because after the first day I was in 3rd place. And so I started to hop around to the same spots I did the day before, and I wanted to get back in that creek mouth I was telling you about. All right. And again, this is the deep side. We had the willows here, and got that 7-inch Senko on, and I'm just kind of throwing it because this thing, it's big. This is big. The fish don't want to work too hard. They want to eat a big bait, and they want it so simple. They want it in front of them. All they're trying to do is get their energy back that they lost. So I came in here, but what was amazing is there was probably about 8 boats out here in the open water. And what they were doing is they were throwing spooks and catching a lot of the bucks, the 2 to 3 pounders, because they were crushing them. The bucks were eating it. So I decided not to go in here. I didn't want anyone to see me going in. And so I just kept working my way around, found a few other places, but I wasn't catching anything big. Then about 10:30, I said to myself, you know what, I need to go back. When I came back, all these boats were gone. They're all gone. I slipped into my creek here and started throwing the Senko parallel with these laydowns that were in the water. And it was about the second one when this thing was dropping that I felt a thunk and caught that one. And I had knew right there and there that this tournament was over. It was about 10:45. I told my amateur, I go, we're going to go hang out right where we weigh in at. And so for the next 4+ hours, we just sat there close to the ramp, because I have learned a long time ago, if something can go wrong, it usually will. And I wanted to make sure that I was close to the weigh-in and wasn't late. So I hope that helps. Hog Hunter swim baits, these things are phenomenal. I know the guys very well, have gotten to know them, and actually have become very good friends. I recommend this 7-inch Senko. And again, if you want me to show you my secret on how to rig that up for maximum performance, just go down here below, and I'm going to be giving a lot of my secrets away. And I hope that helps. I hope you go out and catch big fish, and I can't wait to hear your stories. And remember, you're just one cast away. Hey, thanks a lot. Remember, click like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because we're going to be making a lot of videos. We're going to demonstrate and teach you how to go out and catch more and bigger fish. Remember, you're just one cast away. We appreciate you, and let's fish out loud.